Hey, everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. We are just moments away from kickoff, and we've got a good one on tap between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Kansas City Chiefs. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Kansas City Chiefs. Hello again, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, we look at this Chiefs ball club. They, too, come in off the bye. So we should have two teams that are eager to get back at it.
And players are creatures of habit. You can bet they enjoyed the time off, but you know they're also ready to get right back into the swing of things.
Meanwhile, for the Bengals here, they've got all W's on the ledger so far. A perfect 6-0.
Yeah, still a long way to go in this season, but they're showing everyone early on that they intend to be there in the end.
They'll start with Hunt on the ground. And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game. So what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels. Because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
Call it no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13.
All runners count on their eyes to find the gaps and creases, to find open space. There was absolutely none on that one. Totally swallowed up on that play.
Dalton now to pass. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
No, check, Patriot! Watch it now, Barney!
The former 2nd-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. And we can say hello to the new NFL rushing king as he has just passed Emmitt Smith's mark of over 18,000 yards. What a privilege to witness this here.
Oh, Brandon, this is terrific. We're here. We get to see it live. We get to call it and see a new king emerge. A fantastic day, a tip of the cap, and congratulations.
That one good for 15, and the Bengals get a 1st down. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, where that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night.
But he's taken down. A Chiefs sack.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. That's caught inside the 20. And all the way down to the 9. A big play there for the Bengals. 41 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
This will be caught at about the 5. And he'll get this down inside the 5 to the 4 before he's out of bounds. Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's 2nd and goal.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They get only a yard there. Now it's 3rd and goal.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard.
Watch it now, Barney!
They'll try and run with Mixon. And he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. A great effort there with touchdown number 27. That ties Priest Holmes for the 3rd most in a single year. And the Bengals are going to take a first-quarter lead. Bullock out now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. A first down throw coming for Dalton. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. Here's Cincinnati defensively right now in the NFL, ranked number 12 against the pass. And this unit, very tough to throw against, currently 2nd best in the NFL.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, they'd easily move into the top 5.
Dalton up, play action. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, doing a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Now a play fake here on first down. He'll hit Watkins on the crossing route.
Illegal touching. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down at the 50 after a gain of about 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
From midfield here, Dalton. Looking for Watkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 39. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. He was looking for Watkins that time.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards. Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
Now a first carry for Derrick Henry. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Tackle made there by Frank Clark.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Looking to throw on second down. Finley avoids the target, and he has it over the middle. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. A gain of 32 that time. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's first and goal from just inside the 10.
All right, here we go. Boom, landed.
They'll try and run for it with Henry. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't...
Looking for Boyd, and he's got him. Touchdown, Bengals. Tyler Boyd, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Bengals are able to grow their lead. Extra point up and good by Bullock. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
Getting ready to go again. Here's Andy Dalton marching back onto the field. And he'll look to rebound from the early interception that led to 6 points the other way.
And when he threw the interception and he had to come to the sideline, I guarantee his first thought wasn't about the interception itself, but what could result. And I know he was thinking to himself, come on, defense, bail me out. Well, they weren't able to in this situation. Now he's got to go out and atone for it himself, but he can't force things.
So that one will be accepted. They run with Hunt. And he finds enough of an opening to get this one back up to his 20. Up from the secondary to make the tackle, Jalen Ramsey. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
They'll wind up getting 10 back there as it'll leave them with a 3rd and 5.
Barney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go, and let's see who's faster.
But likely not for long as they're in punt. Here's the Chiefs punter now as he'll kick it away for the second time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Ross on the return. Pretty move.
Oh, that's sweet.
What an effort. Well, that looked for a second like he might take it all the way, but as it stands, it's still a massive return. And the Bengals will take over in terrific field position. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Over!
From the gun, Finley. Wide open receiver complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. A good pickup there, a 22.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there, perfectly executed. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. A great play there with his 28th touchdown, drawing level with Sean Alexander for the 2nd most in a single year. And the Bengals add on to their lead. Bullock good on the extra point. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And it'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's just been looking for some space. Yeah, I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. William Jackson with a pick. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And he'll get 3 up to midfield.
A big part of a middle linebacker's job is being able to take on blocks and then go make plays. But the best ones, they have those big guys in front of them playing defensive line that hold blockers off of them and allow them to flow sideline to sideline and make the big hits.
He's got his man, Boyd. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A really good pickup of 28 yards. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
Mixon with a first down carry. Open space inside the 10. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. A great effort there with touchdown number 29, too short of LaDainian Tomlinson's all-time record 31. And the Bengals are able to grow their lead. Bullock out now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Getting set to go again, Andy Dalton marches back onto the field. In second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people, lean on your teammates, find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
Or this, if he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they march off another 15 against your squad.
Here's Hunt. A beautiful fake. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Dalton, 1st and 10. And this one caught by Travis Kelce. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. First down for the Chiefs. Solid chunk of yardage, 17 on the play.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do? You got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Passing again. Dalton on 2nd and 10. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The tight end Kelce was the intended target. So that is 3 interceptions now in this first half, and you hate to ask the question, but let's be honest, we're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next series?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot. That's not really his stature here, but he has been their starting quarterback for this game. So they've got to weigh things about who's behind him. Do they think he can snap it back into gear? Maybe change up the play calling to help him out a little bit.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. Uses the spin, and they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the second quarter.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Detroit! Detroit!
A first down carry for Henry. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. Boy, that's a lot of sirloin steak to be taken down for no gain, partner.
Are you trying to suggest that he is a huge man?
He is
not just a big man, a huge man.
Big boy.
Well, how about the credit then for the defense to be able to chop that big tree and put him on the ground?
I know back when you played, it took 4 of you to take a guy like that down, right?
Well, that's for sure. And you know what else? I didn't want to challenge him at dinner either.
2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back to the booth right after this. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Back to throw. Finley. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Boyd. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A really nice gain of 25 yards. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
And he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. To throw on 2nd down. Finley. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
Looking to throw. Finley, nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But I think a Bengal player was able to get in there. He was. And they'll keep possession of the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball. Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete. That is the first time that they've targeted him that he has not come down with the catch.
He's caught everything that's been thrown his way, a dominant pass receiver that can break down any defense, because when he's doing that kind of work, it really hurts you on the back end.
And even though it's an incompletion there, I think they're going back to that well. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that, and we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
19 seconds showing to play in the half as they come up here 1st and 10. They'll begin the drive with Hunt. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. It's second down. Dalton looking. He'll leave it for Hunt, complete. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. So we have reached halftime. Well, why don't we hold off on the halftime update after all? Seems like everyone's ready to go here for the second half in Week 8 in the NFL. This is fielded at the goal line. Giovanni Bernard, nothing but green grass. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Giovanni Bernard taking it goal line to goal line, 100 yards. And the Bengals just continue to pour it on. And you've used the phrase with me before, pressing the kicking game. What exactly does that mean? Because they did it there.
It means focusing on it, all aspects of it, because it's the third part of the game. Offense, defense, special teams. If you press the kicking game, create an advantage, make a big play, it often leads to victory.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the Chiefs offense ready for their first reps in half number 2. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there, because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off around the 37. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down.
Another good run there, and now we're seeing an offense that's imposed its will on a defense. When we talk about that all the time, what does it really mean? It means that the guys on the offensive line, they feel like they can do whatever they want. They're in the huddle saying, run it again. Give us another chance to smack someone and create some space. On the defensive side of the ball, not only have they imposed their will against you, you're almost powerless to figure out what you're doing there, but you got to keep your spirit up at the same time, and they're taking that too. Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, Makes me glad I didn't.
Looking for Boyd, and he's got him. Touchdown, Bengals. Tyler Boyd with his second touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Bengals use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Bullock out now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And out come the Chiefs now. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
What do you think, Brandon? I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Joey Bosa in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big. And now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
They just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of it. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. In for the score. And the Bengals have got it on cruise control.
Well, it certainly feels like that kind of game, doesn't it? No matter what they do, it's going to work. That might be the absolute crusher right there. A punt return for a touchdown.
Feels like there's been a lot of crushers in this game. This lead just gets bigger. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Chiefs offense now making their way back onto the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. They run again with Hunt, and that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Joey Bosa with the tackle for loss. How about that pedigree in his family?
Yeah, some good pedigree. Tell us about it, Mr. Davis.
Dad played in the NFL, first-round draft pick. Uncle was a first-round draft pick. He's got a brother coming behind him. But Joey Bosa, guy plays really, really hard and plays all aspects on defense.
And he's got the first down yardage before being taken down at midfield. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Nice completion there for Andy Dalton. Charles, you worked some of his games when he was at TCU. Now you've worked his games in the NFL. What progression have you seen?
I've seen a guy who took over as a freshman in college and got better and better each year. Always added a little bit more to his game, got stronger. But the best part about him is he's always been accurate.
And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. And it'll be Dalton again. They'll go screen here to Hunt. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. Here's the Chiefs punter now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And now a low liner. I think he mishit it. Only 29 yards on the punt there. Definitely not his best. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field. And last time out, another touchdown. And I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats?
Who?
You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the road
true.
to be fairly clear
that is
by the
one
time
positive.
we have to leave the booth.
Throwing to start the drive. Finley. He's got a man. Complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
On 1st and 10, Finley. Throw left side complete. It's Boyd. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A gain of 32 that time.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? So now following the big play, they've got a 1st and goal all the way down at the 10. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Derrick Henry, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bengals just continue to pour it on. And there, the counter play proves successful for the touchdown. What typically makes a counter play in general successful, Charles?
But what you're trying to do, Brandon, is to get the team moving in one direction, meaning the defense. Get them going in one direction and then wall them off with your blocking and bring it back in the other direction. That way, you don't actually have to punish them with your blocking. You just position them. And if you have any kind of a good back, he'll take full advantage of it and gain good yardage.
To begin the drive, here's a handoff to Hunt. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Now whistles and a flag down. Looked like one of the Chief linemen might have moved.
False start, offense.
And that'll set them back 5. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. They'll run again with Hunt. And an alley to run. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
In today's NFL, when you get teams in long yardage situations with your defense, you're really going to go to your speed packages. You're going to get smaller, lighter guys on the field in order to cover the expected pass. So they might want to run the ball against a smaller, lighter lineup with your big guys, and that's exactly what happened on that play. It was tough on them, and now instead of being in 3rd and very long, they ended up setting themselves up in 3rd and manageable. They've got a chance at a 1st down.
Now here's Ross. Slipped right by him. It takes a touchdown-saving tackle to bring him down as he goes 32 yards on the return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. A handoff to Mixon. And he's taken down inside the 30. A Bengal 1st down on the 16-yard pickup there.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
first down. Finley. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. As his guys are in for 6, and the Bengals have got it on cruise control. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So now here are the Chiefs as their offense makes their way back out onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
They go play action here on first down. The tight end Kelsey has it over the middle. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it indeed.
Personal
Here
foul.
come the flags.
Face mask. Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Back now here on EA Sports. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. On first and 10, here's Andy Dalton. Throwing the out route and complete. That's Bryant. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An out cut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
To throw here, Dalton. And the hit jarred loose. It's incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
He completes it to Bryant. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. And they're on third and short. They just tried to spread the field. It worked.
And I think that the spreading of the field, the extra receivers, has really become the next in the evolutionary chain in the NFL. Go all the way back in that situation, you're handed it to the fullback, right? As we evolve, maybe you pitched it to your tailback. Now you spread the field, and you have your choices of where to throw it and complete it for a first down.
Second and 10. Dalton once more. Looking sideline, incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry? Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
Third down, a shot here for Dalton. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. Joey Bosa in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
And his kick is indeed good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
And room to run as he's up past the 35-yard line. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. Looking to throw on second down. Finley. Now he'll escape to his right. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down.
I know you're thinking it, but I'll just go ahead and say it. To give you an idea of how sharp he's been in this game, just his second incompletion, and we're in the fourth quarter.
He has been locked in, laser-focused all throughout this one, hasn't he?
Certainly has, and he's gotten some help from his receivers as well. They also are locked in.
Yeah, the drops have been at a bare minimum. To the sideline, and oh, that's well done. Able to drag the feet. He's going to have the first down. A 3-yard gain and enough for the first down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack of finding his way open and completing the connection.
He'll take this from the 40 up to the 45 for a gain of 5.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
To the left side here for Eifert. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. A Bengal first down on the 16-yard pickup there. This quarterback now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. First and 10. And the pitch goes to Mixon. Look at the dancing. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A great play there. Becoming just the second player with 30 touchdowns in a single year. And the Bengals just continue to pour it on. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. And the Chiefs now getting set to go. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Another look for Dalton on 2nd and 10. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and it'll be third down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. That one good for 12 yards into Kansas City first.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and that's what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
Give him 2 yards on that play, and it'll make it second down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate Big plays for an offense.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. And they went for a big play through the air on second down, couldn't connect. Now it's third. So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Another chance for Dalton. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. The toss play to Mixon. Got some real estate inside the 30. And finally wrestled down at the 8-yard line. A big play on the ground there. It goes for 36 yards. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided. Now Joe Mixon. And the spin looked pretty, but more for style points as the real estate evaporated quickly there. And give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a 2nd and goal. So that run gets him about halfway home.
Yes, now 2nd and goal. The end zone beckons. It looms. They can do whatever they want. Full playbook. Run it again, or they can go play action and try and put it in that way.
And prior to this 3rd and 2 play, we're going to get a timeout called as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Now, Bengals on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and goal.
No, check. Patriot! Patriot!
Back to throw. Finley. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone can stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. First and 10 for Dalton. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Give him 7 on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
2nd down, Dalton. That's taken in, complete to Reynolds. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. And again, Andy Dalton to throw. And now here's another interception. Picked off at the 40. And they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman?
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
With the Eagles?
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. He spins free. And they get him down right near the midfield stripe. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
They'll stay on the ground, Mixon again. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
Now it looks like he'll throw here. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with it. I struggle. But on the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I'll guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. Not that time for Watkins. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it. But it just tells you about the game of football. It giveth and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times. Airing one out for Boyd. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Bengals, their winning ways continue as they get it up to 7-0. And they'll have another road date next week with the Los Angeles Rams. Meanwhile, for the Chiefs, they fall a game under the 500 mark at 3-4 through 7 games. And they'll be at home for one next week against the Oakland Raiders.
Now, let's take a minute to see how you can improve your team.
Matching hundreds. Hey, everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see teams with a couple of running backs who each went over 100 yards a weekend ago, as it'll be the Cincinnati Bengals taking on the Los Angeles Rams. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gott.
Coach, thank you much. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the City of Angels, Los Angeles, California. Straight ahead, it's a matchup of unbeatens between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Los Angeles Rams. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Rams now for their first possession. And we get a glance here at their leader, the man who will be calling the plays under center.
And this could be a whole lot of fun because if his game plan goes into effect early, we're going to see some shots downfield, aren't we? What did he talk to us about? Stretching the field. Wants to open things up for not just his receivers, but for anything underneath.
Well, that was the theme, the front page of the sports section, where the columnists write possible air raid. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the coaches view that, right? Who gave away the game plan? I think it's pretty obvious, though. That'll help them win.
Now the first carry here for Todd Gurley. And he'll maybe get it back to the 25 here on the first play, but no more than that. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them much better opportunity to convert on third down.
They'll drop to throw. Looking for Cooks, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. He's continuing to be a big presence defensively. Remember last week, AFC Defensive Player of the Week, and a big pick right there.
And when you pile up big numbers, it gets everyone's attention. But sometimes the number just needs to be, how many game-changing plays did you make? Did you take the ball away from the other team? He just did that, trying to win the award again this week.
Mixon, and he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down. Here's a give to Mixon. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So a decent gain, but all
Still
for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
To throw on second down. Finley to the left side here for Eifert. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for third down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Back 99 Philly, here we go!
On third down, Mixon. And eventually taken down, but how about that athletic spin move we saw? Gives him the first down yardage. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. And he now can wear the crown for the best ball carrier in a single season.
And think of who he has passed to get here. And being able to stay healthy, get enough carries, get great support from his offensive line and receivers blocking for him. But best of all, this is one talented individual that now has the record.
Airing one out for Boyd. Looking for Boyd, and he's got him. Touchdown, Bengals. Tyler Boyd, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Bengals are going to take a first-quarter lead.
And no matter how it comes about, when you get good field position, you have to make the defense pay. Short fields usually make for good offense.
Bullock out now to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. They'll look to throw here. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked off around the 37.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Throwing to start the drive. Finley. Oh, and it's incomplete. That would have been big in the end zone if he could have held on. Instead, it's second down.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it can be tipped up and picked off.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. And oh, not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is third and long. On the toss, Mixon. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
How about that run? Picks up a first down. Note the enthusiasm in my voice. Remember, last week, AFC Offensive Player of the Week. I think he's trying to get another one in fold.
And you talked, watching film, a lot about his form and just hitting the hole, running north and south, as we like to say. And I think he's been doing that a lot recently.
Squaring those shoulders and getting downhill.
Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
Looking to throw on second down. Finley. He was looking for John Ross that time. And it's third and short.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
Meanwhile, this one knocked down in the backfield. It's incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to... And he's in for the score, and his spectacular season continues as he ties the NFL touchdown record.
He is phenomenal.
And that score will do it. He is now the most prolific touchdown rusher of all time.
When they always talk about a runner who has a nose for the end zone, this player exemplifies that statistic. And now it's been quantified. The all-time touchdown rushing record in the NFL.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. And now let's see how the young rookie bounces back. First drive and interception. How will he handle it?
And I think this is where your leaders step up for you, right? Your veteran guys put a big arm around him. All right, guy, had one. Don't worry about it. Let's get out there and let's roll. And I'm also eager to see what the offensive coordinator is going to do. How much confidence does he have in him? Does he go safe now, or does he continue to run the full game plan?
The numbers on the ground for Gurley last week. There isn't a coach alive who wouldn't like those numbers. Well over 100 yards and a touchdown, too.
Partner, I think all the coaches who are in that great coaching box in the sky would take those numbers.
So dead or alive?
Either way, they would take that kind of production.
It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
One of the things that really impressed me about Joey Bosa is that he doesn't sacrifice the run game trying to get sacks. This guy really knows how to hold the point of attack, great leverage, and then goes and sheds people and makes plays.
And at 6'5", 270, just a monster.
Absolute monster with a really high motor.
And that one good for 16 yards and a first.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
On first down, it's Gurley. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
How about that, partner? That happened in a hurry. Sudden, explosive, gets into the backfield, and spills the play.
And he was AFC Defensive Player of the Week last week because of plays just like that. He'll look to throw. And they'll set up the screen to Gurley. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. He lost 4 there, and it's third down. And that screen there on second down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there because trying is one.
And here's another interception, the third of this first quarter. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And he will bring it back. It's a pick six for a Bengals TD. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
Shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. And I guess right now as we look at some of his struggles today, the term next play really applies here. He's got to move on.
I love where your head is on that because that's where his head needs to be, exactly what you've said. Yes, there have been mistakes made, but he's got to move on and play the next play as if it didn't happen, keep his confidence up. But how about the guys on the defensive side of the ball? They've got to be feeling great about what's going on right now. They've already gotten to him a few times. They want to keep that up. Maybe they can pick off a few more.
Well, they disrupted already for 3 INTs. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Now a handoff for Gurley. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Deron Payne, the big D tackle there to make the stop.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Now on 2nd down, this is Gurley. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
Here comes the Rams punter now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. And you see his numbers from a week ago. He was up over 100 yards then, and he's already hit pay dirt here once in this one.
We always talk about quarterbacks and receivers getting into rhythm, right? Really feeling good, finding each other downfield. I think running backs operate the same way. They can hit a good rhythm and a good stride, and he's carrying it over from last week.
The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. And after his performance last week, everybody saw it. Unbelievable. You can expect a heavy dose of him again, I think.
Without a doubt. I mean, why wouldn't you? Because once you establish yourself that way, it's not just him, okay? It's his offensive line. It's the tight end. It's your wide receivers. Everyone now sharing in the load and sharing in the belief that if they do their job, they'll see another performance.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Bengals with a football to begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a 1st down.
Watch it now, Barney.
Operating from the gun, Finley. Looking left side, and he's got him in. That's Boyd. That goes for a gain of 31.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
Looking to throw, Finley. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Tyler Boyd, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Bengals add on to their lead. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. Now, he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the 2nd quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. Able to find a lot of empty space there, picking up the first down at a 21-yard gain.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw, so maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now. And
he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. A full start backs them up 5, 1st and 15.
Let's go!
Following the penalty, it's Gurley. They'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Here comes carry number 10 for Gurley. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
Oh, he almost intercepted it. They're just forcing it into too many tough spots. That was almost a 4th pick of the game. And now 4th down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
And we spotlight Derrick Henry now. And he's had his chances in this game. He just hasn't been able to find any daylight so far.
Patience, 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 and that's the hard part for a runner because they expect every run to be a big one for something to pop. So they have to sometimes go through the struggles before it happens for them later in the game. But you got to give credit to the rest of the team. They've worked around the fact that he hasn't had his normal big game.
Yeah, despite his struggles, still winning here in the second quarter. They'll run here with Mixon. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. That one good for 15, and the Bengals get a first down.
The good old toss play. And this time they go to the left side, so give a lot of credit to the offensive line. Center, guard, tackle, able to seal that side. But the guy that we don't give enough credit to, wide receivers. They have to do a great job of blocking downfield. Otherwise, that play can be spilled in the backfield. In this case, everyone handled their responsibilities, and they picked up really nice yardage.
That one goes for 24 yards. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
20! He gets this one to Boyd. A very solid gain of 27. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw again. Finley. He's got it. Touchdown, Bengals. In for the score. And the Bengals have got it on cruise control. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever. There it results in a touchdown. Bullock out now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And we move to spotlighting Brandon Cooks. Sitting right around the midpoint of the season, on pace for 1,000 yards. Good year so far, and I'm sure film study being devoted to him a little bit more on the other side.
They have to, because the pace that he's carrying right now, if you're pushing 1,000-yard pace as a receiver, that means he warrants your attention. And right now, precision is going on with their offense. Kind of like that timepiece you wear on your wrist. You know, the good stuff. You got to knock that off somehow. Chip away at that timing. Change things up a little bit and make them go to other things and make them do those things better.
Yeah, try to make him uncomfortable. Not many teams have been able to do that so far this year. Dumps it off to Gurley. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. It'll be a gain of 4, and that'll make it second and short.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
On the handoff, it's Gurley. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
Here we go. Green, 39.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's letting it fly for Cooks. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. William Jackson with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. They toss to Mixon. Shows off a quick feet as he takes this one up to the 20. And he's able to get more than half of what they needed. That brings up a 3rd and 5.
You've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball, because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Over.
From the gun on 3rd down, Finley. They've got his man complete. A minute 59 to go in the first half. We're back to the City of Angels after this timeout. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. And he is into the end zone, and the touchdown record is now all his. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Extra point up and good by Bullock. And a route is on here in this first half. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And our attention shifts to Todd Gurley. He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line out.
And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Joey Bosa in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. And now the Bengal defense here calling a timeout, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Set. 3-19.
Gurley. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. And now the Bengals are going to call another timeout, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The Bengals bring out their punter now, as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Great blocking nearly sprung him there. 28-yard return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10.
Leopard. 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 Check me out. We got 3 down. We got to stand up over there. Watch him now, Barney. Barney.
Running left, it's Mixon. He finds some open field here. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. 23 yards on the pickup there and a 1st. Well, he's broken off some big-time runs here in this first half.
Yeah, and let's just face it. When you go into a game, you think you've got the plays that are going to work, but when you actually get out there and they're starting to happen, your confidence rises, and he's running with terrific ability right now.
And the catch good. It's Eifert. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal. And now with that completion, he's north of 200 yards here in the first half.
And he's going to break our statistician, Marvin, isn't he? Because Marvin right now is just tallying it up. Hope his hand doesn't hurt too much doing this, or keeps hitting the calculator. But my goodness, what a start he is off to. By the end of this game, he could have monster numbers. He just wants to continue to be accurate.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. So 2nd and goal, and the big man Henry alone in the backfield.
Over.
Back to throw. Finley. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Tyler Eifert, as the first half is winding down, and the Bengals just continue to pour it on. Now the offense will stay out there. They're going to line up and try for 2.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. So they go with a pass there on the 2-point try and able to convert it, Charles.
And a good job by the offense figuring out their 2-point play and using it well. It's interesting how people are using the strategy nowadays, though, isn't it?
It really is, and I don't know how much that particular play factored in, but with the PAT moving back in 15-16, that kind of changed things, didn't it?
It's really a part of everyone's strategy now. When I talk with coaches and when we sit with them, they always talk about they actually have 2-point periods in practice now, something they never really did before.
And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. So we have reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Bengals out in front as we send you cross-country to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
Okay, all right, Brandon, thank you very much. Hi again, everyone. Let's get you caught up with what's going on around the NFL as we are officially into the second half of the season. We'll start up in the Pacific Northwest at CenturyLink Field in Seattle.
We now proceed to the start of the second half. The Bengals set to receive. They have the lead and the football to begin quarter number 3. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very calm, congratulatory, but also what they were saying is, don't expect them to be the same on defense. They'll be the ones making the adjustments. Let's see what they do, and we'll attack accordingly.
And we'll see how they attack here. One play has them up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
Watch you now, Barney! Barney!
Throwing on 1st down. Finley. That's complete to John Ross. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
All right, here we go. 3-19! 3-19! Over!
On 1st and 10, Finley. He completes it to Boyd. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this one. He's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the 1st.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him? Double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. Looking to throw. Finley got his man. It's Eifert. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
To throw on 2nd down. Finley. And this is incomplete.
That one didn't quite make it to the target, but that's not always a function of the strength of the arm of the quarterback, is it? Sometimes there's just too much pressure there. In any case, the ball doesn't arrive.
Back to throw. Finley. And almost intercepted. Would have been a huge pick in the end zone, but as it stands, that brings up 4th. They're looking for a spark defensively. When he went for that ball, probably thought he had a chance at the pick. Now, remember, they had 2 last week in the win, obviously losing here.
Well, you talked about looking for a spark, and the best sparks are when you make big plays for your team, and he had that opportunity there. Couldn't haul it in, but that doesn't mean they're going to back off at all. They figure if they can get one of those takeaways, they can spark their team to a win.
After the field goal now, it's Bullock to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the attention turns back to the Rams offense as they get ready for their first possession of the 2nd half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He'll throw underneath for Gurley. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best.
And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A big play there, 53 yards, and the Bengals have got it on cruise control. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now, no question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. Yeah, what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead. Bullock good on the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. So they hit pay dirt on just 1 play. The long run, the scamper, and a very nice scamper into the end zone for the touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Rams offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think he might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working.
Green 39! Green 39!
They go play action here on first down. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. I don't care if you're taking it in round 1, you're undrafted, whatever. As a rookie quarterback in this league, you're going to have games where you face adversity like this.
Lessons. All the time you're going to face these lessons. The key for this guy is will he be able to bounce back in the next one? Because right now, this has not been his game.
Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
Let's go!
They'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. But you just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
Here comes the Rams punter now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And this will be taken at the 13. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And that will come the offense as they take over. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. He has been on his A game. We're in the 3rd quarter. He's already in search of touchdown pass number 5.
He's played so well that it's hard for me to take my eyes off of him, even when he's not on the field. I keep finding my eyes finding him on the bench in between series, wondering what he's going to do next. This has been a blast to watch him play the position.
He's been spectacular with those 4 touchdown passes. Again, it's Mixon. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
Nice move at the 40. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. They'll get 14 on that one. Good for a Bengal first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Watch him now, Barney!
On first down, Finley. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 23 yards on the play. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of, until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
That is caught right at the 10-yard line. Give him 30 yards there. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
They'll give it to Mixon. And he is in. Touchdown, Bengals. A great effort there. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Bengals just continue to pour it on. And that rushing touchdown, his fourth, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it. But he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Rams offense, they work their way back on the field. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
All right, here we go. 3 and 9.
Back to the workhorse today. It's Gurley. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Back now in Los Angeles. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair.
Here we go now. Blue 90.
Now back to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. Here comes the Rams punter now as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Finley. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Throwing on 1st down. Finley. And incomplete. A drop there in the middle 3rd of the field. That'll bring up 2nd down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Throw left side complete. It's Boyd. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
Again, he'll drop to throw. This will be caught at about the 6. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Tyler Eifert, a beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the Bengals have got it on cruise control.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to add to their score, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know that they need to add any more right now, though. I'm just starting to think about those dinner plans tonight, my friend.
Well, you and I will be thinking about dinner plans, but we also know there are plenty of people are thinking, how can I get some more scores for my fantasy, for other things? They're trying to figure that part out now.
By the way, last weekend we went sushi because that's what you wanted. We're going steak tonight.
I'm in.
All right.
Now let's go! Green, 39!
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards on the play.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off around the 41. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used the calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do.
There he goes, right side. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A great play there. 62 yards. And the Bengals just continue to pour it on.
There's no doubt in my mind.
And do you hear that? Do you hear that?
It's not scales, right?
No.
I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
She's going. She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
Bullock out now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people.
And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Carl Lawson able to drop him for a loss of 4. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has, but in his defense, he hasn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense, I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that's going to make it 4th down. Here comes the Rams punter now, as he's on here to punt it away. Taking it about the 16. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A great return there, bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. A very good starting field position for the Bengals here as they come up 1st and 10.
Watch you now, Barney.
They'll start here with a give to Mixon. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Ram territory. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
You got him. Leopard! 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 Watch the motion. Watch it now.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Over!
On 1st and 10, Finley. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
Back to the air on 2nd down. Finley. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Dante Fowler in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Looking to throw. Finley. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. From the gun, Finley. And this is going to be incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And this defense is going to get the football back near midfield, right at the 48. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the 4th, but they didn't get it.
Guaranteed, it's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right?
And now here's another interception. Picked off at the 46. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now, that's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Once again, they run with Mixon. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. They'll get 14 on that one. Good for a Bengal 1st down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
On 1st down, Finley. He's going to fire one deep, middle. And this is caught inside the 5. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And thanks to the interception, the Bengals offense cashes in with 6. Extra point up and good by Bullock. And that will extend this big lead. Bullock out now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. This Bengal defense now making their way back out onto the field. They are looking to preserve this shutout, so for them, a lot on the line.
A lot on the line, a lot of pride that goes into that. Because let's face it, when you've had that kind of a day, you do not want any type of a fluke play to end it. You're going to win the game. That's not the issue. But to have a clean ledger going into the locker room and sitting in film next week, oh, that's satisfying.
You feel good.
Oh, that's the way to do it.
They're looking to cradle that goose egg.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And that's going to be incomplete. He was looking for Todd Gurley. And it's 3rd down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. That's going to be complete to his tight end, Everett. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now, they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. And nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter.
The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Joey Bosa in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
This is taken at the 18. Now a hit and a loose football. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. They come into enemy territory, and I don't care what the matchup is in the National Football League. You're up like this late in the game on the road. This feels pretty good.
Oh, it feels fantastic. Anytime you get a road victory in the NFL, that's a big-time accomplishment, and to do it this convincingly, that just tears up the script that every home team has, which is nobody comes into our house and pushes us around. They took care of business today.
Yeah, they pushed around, and now the final stages of this one. Back to Mixon on 1st down. And spins away. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Mixon with a 1st down carry. And they'll get him down right around the 16. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Watch it now,
A handoff running left, Mixon. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings
Exactly.
there.
They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head.
But that's
the
about
virtual guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one.
In that case, run it up.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. So, Charles, are able to complete what so often seems to be elusive, a shutout in the NFL. And maybe what's fitting is they ended the game on the field, that defensive unit on the field. What an exclamation mark.
And probably felt like they could go another 60 minutes without anyone putting points on the board against them. That's the confidence you gain throughout when you're pitching a shutout. And they're going to leave the stadium feeling like they're all 10 feet tall.
So for Cincinnati, they continue to cruise through this first half of the schedule as they move to 8-0 now on the campaign. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Cleveland to take on the Browns. Meanwhile, for L.A., the perfect season was apparently not meant to be as they drop to 7-1. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against San Francisco. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Scouting points are earned every week. Use all your points, as a portion of the remaining points will be lost when you advance the week.